Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting, riveting, and amazing, spectacular Propagandacast from your host, Imperial Dane, the one, the only master propaganda hero, like defender of the fatherland. Off here to a 1v1 on Faymonville Approach. In the north, it is Cheesetonkatsu fighting for the British Army, the Commonwealth, with commandos, rolling knees, and advanced replacement, double infantry, and grenade range bullets. And versus the south, it is SturmtigerGiap fighting for the Wehrmacht, Germany, Deutschland. Here with elite troops being chosen, featuring the concussive grenades, stormtroopers, Jaeger light infantry upgrades, Panzer tactician, and the Tiger race with infantry and Panzerfaust bulletins. Come the MG42 start this double section. Cheesetonkatsu about Sachi. But there we go. Wehrmacht here forming up the 21st Panzer Division versus Cheesetonkatsu's. Oh, let's just go with 7th Armored Division, the Desert Rats. Third section away there for Cheesetonkatsu. Pioneers MG4 towards the centre here. Grenadiers ready there for Giap as well. Pioneers laying down some barbed wire around the centre. We got the section moving forward, going straight for the northern fuel points. Swiftly digging in sandbags there. Hard at work. Vessel providing co-commentary in the background, reminding people to pledge on Patreon or to donate, since apparently that's what it concerns him, the greedy little bastard. And of course, you can always just comment, like, share, subscribe, and press the bell button. As you know, links in the video description. And a big thanks, of course, as always, to my Patreon supporters, who remain, as always, my own company of heroes. Pioneers in the south here with some sandbag. Pioneers moving forward here, so looking to secure the box there. And hopefully hold off against the British advances. Meanwhile, Cheesetonkatsu, they're immediately lining up the front line there and then securing the other points later on. Second is almost done there for Giap and for Germany. Bit of skirmishing there. And there we go, getting right behind Giap, going straight for the card point. Going to force him to dispatch force to do without even laying down sandbags on the card point. Cheeky Cheesetonkatsu here and there, going for Giap police as well there. Still, they do manage to enter the point neutral, cutting off Giap's fuel flow already, of course, further exposing a bit of awkwardness here forward, pushing 40. Did we get grenades already? No, pushing for the fourth section. Hold here by the M42, grenades for the section. Bit of a nasty situation here for Giap as they are able to put a lot of pressure, and he's not quite there yet, well, at least just for like the veterans who won or come up. One command pod ability, the stun grenades would be quite helpful here. Good use of the train here by Cheesetonkatsu versus Giap. MG4 being in position, with theoretically leaving room to push from this west there. Third grenade on the way here, pulling back here, he's done his job. Left Giap here a bit of rattle and unsettled. But again, really good play there by Cheesetonkatsu. Highlights again how important it is to keep your flank secure. And of course, how important it is to like, be able to expose and you spot these kind of weaknesses in your opponent's front line, rather than just charge straight ahead into the nearest MG42, Vickers or whatever, and you try to get yourself killed. Or your men killed, obviously. You're too valuable. Grenadiers being 40 section, going straight for the centre victory point. There you go, Grenadiers catching them here. Giap here could consider some S-mites, making it harder for Cheesetonkatsu to make those moves. They're going to pushing forward to the section. Section is suppressed, more pushing forward so we get grenades. I mean, I'm fairly expecting at some points, and some British players again really know how to make use of those grenades, in part because German players tend not to expect them. No tech yet, University there for Cheesetonkatsu. But again, it does have the concussive grenades, which are well timed, can disrupt here some of his stuff. Gunny's moving straight from the northern fuel point. Giap here looking to disrupt his opponent. Not a bad idea there. Bit risky, obviously, but well executed. It can, of course, prove to be quite disruptive. Still no tech. They're planning a sniper more grenades on MG42 here. We shall see for Giap and for the Germans. Got tech following up there on the universal carrier here. So he takes some damage. Gunny's pushing forwards. Bit of skirmishing here. Section being shot to bits. Also cut off the fuel point. They need to secure some other points, I think, to link it up, make it a bit more consistent. Going to take loss from the section. And there you go, Universal Care ready. Tech going up. Then you can upgrade it, probably with the Vickers K. Machine gun tech, they're finally happening for Giap. Thumbs up. Machine gun up in the south there, probably pushing towards the centre something else. Section falling back from the north, almost got the fuel point. He could try and sneak in some additional force to then connect the cutoff point. Oh, he does go for the Wasp instead. Not a bad idea considering how Giap so far is playing, which is certainly very defensively and statically. The Wasp is going to be great there for rooting out Giap. Plus, most players go for the Vickers case. The Wasp is just further unexpected here for Giap. And so on top of the just, you know, it's going to be great for dealing with Giap's current shows a tactical disposition. There's also just a strong psychological element of going for something very unexpected that is, of course, still quite effective. It's a nice play there by Cheesetonkatsu. He's been pushed out under the flamethrower, and there you go. Scorching away there, he's moving forwards. I imagine we'll be seeing an armoured car here as a response from Giap, though, of course, Cheesetonkatsu could of course try and respond to that with an AEC, which tends to shut down armoured cars quite efficiently. Sapper swung up here for the British and the Desert Rats. Need to get that tech going there fast, I think, for Giap. Or maybe at least consider sneaking in some Panzer Grenadiers in the meanwhile. Watch for the so far doing some damage. Gunners moving in there, grabbing back Northern Fuel Point there, very good. Like to make a nice company for Giap and the Germans, so good, thumbs up. But again, the fuel disruption has proven to be quite a problem here for Giap. It actually means you can't get out that armoured car very fast versus Cheesetonkatsu, who meanwhile is getting plenty of fuel, allowing him to further rush ahead here. And also just makes that Wasp much harder to deal with. So really just strong players so far by the British, and definitely leaving Giap here a bit unsettled. Section they're digging in the sand tap. Sandbags down there on the western fuel point, or southern fuel point. Going to sing northwards, making pushes straight through the centre, head onto the British positions. Usually against the British, there's always a bit more risk again due to their cover bonus. It's more about, outmaneuvering. Oh, here we go. Trying to light the building and find that way, denying Giap here, and otherwise a good vantage point for attacking the fuel point, but also defending it. 2 thumbs there to Cheesetonkatsu there, clearly displaying some strong foresight here, and a strong sense of tactics, and of course, Pyromania. Good job thinking there, Jenkins, denying the building to the Germans. Yes, denying it to the Germans. Not Pyromania, not to see those sweet, sweet flames lick up and worship the devil. Oh, Jenkins, your sense of humour is great as always. Carry on. Gonna say northwards the armoured car on the way there for Giap. Trying to get the point there. Go Wasp already responding. So there you go. Gone that is. Armoured car halfway done. I imagine we're seeing a pack maybe soon. Oh, it's got 4 Grenadiers out now here for Giap. And I feel like Panzer Grenadiers would do a bit more. Just something with more assault, level 5 here versus the sections. But there you go. 2-2 like the punches be bargaining out. Meanwhile, no sign of that. In fact, Cheesetonkatsu might just be tempted to just push straight ahead for like a fast come to command post and try and push for medium armor at a faster pace here, but we shall see. The 2-2 here could perhaps be enough to like consider them going for the AC anyways, but it's also just possible you just go, you know what, I can just go for tanks instead. Almost got the 2-2 here. That said, but that like more than just on one stab a sec. Oh, there we go. Big massive explosion here. And an inferno catching many squirrels in its deadly flames. Even in death, Jenkins did what he loved doing, burning things. Armor car there was a section. Pioneers burning away there as well. Cheesetonkatsu here so far is going to respond here with the AC Mark III. That does slow down his take a bit, which could arguably be said to be an advantage for Giap. That said, the AC is really, really good. It can be tough to deal with nonetheless. But there you go. AC Mark III on the way here. Giap, of course, going for the Pack 40, expecting the AC, or at least something like that. Sections are routed. Now he needs to, push aggressively. And again, this is probably where, again, some Panthers and Storms would be more helpful. Just, advance faster versus the British with their assault weapons. But, details. Whatever case, he needs to push ahead fast. May also want to consider laying down some mines where they can, like telemines, so maybe try and catch up the British armoured car on counter-attack. We actually, in fact, have mines in the Cheesetonkatsu. 2 thumbs up. Exploiting the advantage you had in terms of map control to further make it harder for Giap to then, make these counter pushes and exploit openings. Great play there. Great play. Bolter section low there for the British. Very good. No grenades. Perhaps that was just, an option, or maybe even just psychological warfare. Threatening the possibility of grenades, but never going for them. The suspense. There we go. Medic bunker done. Do we any upgrades for the Grenadiers? The answer seems to be 9. Another MD-42 for Giap. Michigan holding up in the center. Mortar could also be a consideration here, maybe. But I'll wait, got the AC Mark III out there. AC standing for Associated Equipment Company, which was the company, that made the armoured car. Was one of many armoured cars the British actually had throughout the war. And this one in particular, but it was actually the heaviest they had. In part because they actually used parts from some of the old heavy armour, that is the infantry tanks, I believe it was the Valentine tank. Fun fact. Armed car defending northern point. He's trying to get Sabbath pushing forward some minesweepers, obviously concerned about the possibility that Giap was looking to lay down mines fast. Thumbs up there to Cheesetonkatsu. Pack 45 with the AC, good hit. Sabbath taking man losses here. Black machine with the Grenadier, cutting, not cutting opposite, just blowing the cover well away. Very good. Troops reinforcing healing, need to get back in the field fast. Schnell even. We got 410 versus 471. Gunny's taking losses here. Machine gun moving up. Armored car there, hauled back with a damaged engine. So once more, the British are looking like in a strong position here, though they have taken some losses. Cheesetonkatsu following up with the Vickers heavy machine gun. Penny's pushing forward to occupy the building, that way denying the cover to the British by turning into a really uncomfortable place to be in. Still, 2 fuel points here are still going to be great for the British and an absolute nightmare for Giap to deal with. That said, again, he may want to try another swing for the south, even though I can understand it being a bit more awkward to secure overall, because right now that's where the least resistance is. Whereas again here, you effectively got like lots of sections lined up, which makes it much harder for Giap, particularly just with grenadiers, like make any easy progress. I mean, if you had assault troops, this would probably be a bit easier to like actually achieve. With grenadiers, this is going to be slow and painful, and that just means his opponent just gets more time to secure all these sweet, sweet resources. So I definitely think Giap should just take the path of least resistance here, rather than the path of lots of dug-in Brits. He is going for the mortar, which does make these kind of things, easier, though still, fairly awkward and painful and comfortable. But certainly, having a mortar bombardment lead on smoke screens does help this out a bit. But, I'd still not strongly advise this, if I have to be perfectly honest. Oh, they got the east wing forwards. I imagine that Giap is doing this because this point, is effectively the closest. Like, he's just got, 1 point between him and his space. So, there's less to distract with. So this one, you do technically require at least 2 points. And there's also this exposed car point. So I do understand the logic here from Giap. But sometimes what is closest and convenient can still, not necessarily be the best choice. So it's a bit risky here. It is a bit risky. Also note the way he laid down the trench here makes it much harder for some Giap to just stuff a machine gun in to defend the point. So thumbs as well there to Cheesetonkatsu in the British Army. Still Giap heading through the south. They're going for the victory point there. Hoping perhaps to be away forces from the north. Still no tech here. And further upgrades here for Cheesetonkatsu. This is, well, fairly helpful for Giap, but his situation definitely still needs some work. Section taking a lot of damage from Rada, but at 5 men, decent health, they are not going to get wiped out here by Giap and the Germans. And south here, on his managed to draw away some of the forces, very good. Mortar could bombard here, maybe secure the centre. Could also land on the smoke screen. We shall see, of course, what Giap goes for. There we go, bombardment there, ground the northern points, very good. Unless, of course, you're the British, in which case, not so good. Company command post there for Cheesetonkatsu and the British Army. Mortar emplacement to further make things miserable here for Giap. Very miserable indeed. And certainly has a very nasty history with Faymonville Approach in particular, because he was one of the maps that forced them to have to stop allowing mortar to be placed inside the base, because you don't have cases where they just place it around here and you just be able to cover a good portion of the map. It was absolute hell. I'm towards the section, putting it down. Sneak around here, definitely putting more pressure on Giap. At least he's got something to hold on to here versus the British. Armored car almost taken up, quickly fixed up. Company command post up as well for the British. Giap definitely wants to take up, shouldn't pull up, start setting up for armor, though he still needs to hold on to the fuel point for dear life. But mortar is definitely a very good addition here, and of course, so is the mortar emplacement, which Cheesetonkatsu, of course, immediately adds the second mortar tube, 2. Ground northern point there. Armored car there being fixed up. Close to Veteran 2. Grenadiers pushing forward there for Deutschland. I think you should upgrade more than again. I do think G4 is a bit more handy here for just maintaining more aggressive intentions here versus Cheesetonkatsu, but that is obviously just me going for the summer fuel at least. Very good. Making slow progress. Tech final there for Giap as well. Thumbs up. But he is going to be behind here on his British opponent. Can soon get out a centre actually within seconds, or well, obviously not build it in seconds, thankfully. Anyway, securing the centre here, making good progress. That said, he has left the north a bit more open here to counter push. Also got the mortar placement firing away, bombarding here the positions, making it harder here for Giap to just stuff the machine inside a building for that matter. Which is obviously what Cheesetonkatsu, I imagine, wants to be the case here. Gun is being attacked in 2 sections. The Arc machine guns packs, all that being hauled southwards. He's really swinging hard southwards, but I feel like he's swinging too hard south, and we've got the north now as well there. So, I mean, he's trying to trade them fine, but I think the mortar emplacement makes this a lot more of a risky maneuver now for Giap. A much more risky maneuver. There we go. We got a call in here. Further disrupting here Giap's attempt to switch fuel points. Thumbs up there to Cheesetonkatsu. You got the gun uses the machine gun there. Could try and concuss a grenade here, but allows you just walk up and push them out. Machine gun getting hammered. All this artillery. Machine gun push back as well. Very good. Up north, the armored cars, the sappers. Defending the fuel pump there. Got AC striking in. Pack 40. No one. Oh, actually, it is there. So, it's close by. Close by, actually. Spoke too soon. Still can get out some armor soon. Meanwhile, for Cheesetonkatsu, Cromwell, there's option. And of course, there's the Centaur. Yes, Basil. He probably should go for Stug. Can't quite go for it yet, though. He needs to build the building, and he needs to, like, you know, get the resources. Though he is close. He is close. Yes, I agree, Basil. I do feel like a Stormtrooper squad or a Pencil squad would be a great addition here. Still, he's kind of got both fuel points now. Definitely get that support cop, though, fairly schnell here, though. AC being needing repairs again. More light machine guns. No key for the visa for Giap. Another pack 40. Ooh. Don't tell me he's going for tier 4. No commentary from Basil on that one. He's probably just stuck up because of that. Meow this, he said. Cromwell on the way there for Cheesetonkatsu. Smoke from the south there. 2 thumbs up. And in case, it's pretty much his tactical thing here. Like, you know, his opponents like to have something lined up here, so in case he has, he can't use it. Very solid there. Really solid tactics there from Cheesetonkatsu. 2 thumbs up. Yes, Basil, it's really good smoke throwing there. Solid smoke screen. And Giap really needs to get the support up as well. You are correct indeed, Basil. I'm coming forwards. Going northern point for the Grenadiers. There we go. Cromwell out here for Cheesetonkatsu and the British Army.
The capture point is being overrun.
Of course, while Relic Glacier showed the Cromwell being the main tank, it was actually the Sherman tank the British relied on mostly. I mean, they did have some Cromwells, but, you know, they couldn't produce enough of them, so they relied primarily a lot for the armoured divisions and Shermans as well. They'll find one there as well. But anyways, Cromwell sitting out there. He's now the tank commander. Reinforcing healing. Machine gunners being forced, got the water as well. 1 kill, veteran 2-1. Section on fire, got the pack 40 being 4 bouts. I mean, Cheesetonkatsu is definitely a slightly hard time in the Giap. The Giap is, I think, making it easier for Cheesetonkatsu, but again, not, you know, getting out that armor fast enough. Like, by now, you could use that like a Panther 4 route, they get Stugs out. Ostwind, I guess, I mean, could also be an option. They probably should go for Stug before an Ostwind. At least a Panther 4 before the Ostwind. Section grab with the armored car. Base remains fairly quiet. Is he really playing tier 4 here, though? I mean, this is definitely not the sort of, like, you know, status quo on the battlefield where you go for tier 4, like, you know, against the British. They got more resources, they got more victory points, they got the tanks out. You're not gonna, like, you really shouldn't try to, like, you know, go for the really big tanks. That is typically a recipe for, you know, bad things to happen. But so far, no sign of anything there from Giap. Oh, maybe we do get it now. More pioneers. Nope. Guess not. Maybe he's going to use that pioneer squad to build. Got mortar there with 3 kills. Veterans you won. Very good. Got 298 to 444. More trenches here. Oh, no, can't quite make up his mind. Got machine car on the southern victory point. Okay, he is going to go build the support core, but is he? Yeah, he is. But really, though, sloppy timing there by Giap. Very late, and again, he's going to like something out much sooner. I mean, by now, he could easily like almost have 2 Stugs up, which would definitely put a lot of pressure on Cheesetonkatsu's armor. Like, the Cromwell could quickly go down in the AC side, would have been a lot of trouble there. I'm guessing, though, he might have like tried thinking about going for tier 4, which is why I went for the double pack 40s, but really should just push for armor fast. And now, Cheesetonkatsu is taking, I think, advantage here of Giap's hesitation, of his dithering about. They're just taking hard the center for 2 trenches, also pushing for northern resources now. They do have 1 machine covering that, but this is getting a bit awkward there. Panther over for Giap. Thumbs up, though. Easy to clear that out, like, you know, several minutes earlier. Not okay. And Cheesetonkatsu finally going for Doctrine. It is Rongineers with the M2 Flamethrower upgrade. Dissonant Command Vehicle. In fact, it designates the Armored Pilots Command Vehicle. 2 thumbs up. Overlooked ability. Vehicle repairs. Flame mortar support here. And the Aviary. Panther halfway down, but this allows the troop to be a bit tougher than the push. Of course, supports other things as well. Section are routed. Very good played out. North section pushed back by the Armored Car. The 2-2, which is close to the ace level. All the way, nice play there. I mean, Cheesetonkatsu is, I think, really ahead on a lot of levels tactically, but also I think strategically. And he's just got much sharper timings here than Giap. And while, of course, timings aren't everything, they can really help a lot. Especially when it comes to tanks. And certainly, I would say Giap's timing so far when it comes to armor has definitely not been superb. They're occupying the trench, at least for the 2 Grenadiers, not bad. Pack 4 moving forward, so need to be careful, particularly due to the trenches can actually mess up pathing for them, so a bit of a risky path there. Crom moving forwards here, Panther 4 rushing in, Pack's also moving in, Grenadiers sprinting forwards there. And again, note the way he's placed the trenches. It makes it much harder for Giap to use a machine gun in them to like easily cover. They're theoretically cover here, but there's also possible like some blind spots that could be exploited here by Cheesetonkatsu. This one might actually be more useful for Giap, but this one definitely is a bit too exposed. This one could actually prove to bite possibly Cheesetonkatsu in the arse if Giap puts a machine in. But then again, with the mortar placement nearby, it's not likely to do this. But again, another smoke grenade to further disrupt here. In this case, coming out the Pack 40s. Excellent play there. Still, he's going to take out the Cromwell. Good kill here for Giap, and does give him some room here. But that said, Cheesetonkatsu quick to place with another Cromwell. But Pack's here, narrowed getting away there as the British Army strikes back. Vengeance in their hearts. Cheese biscuits on their trousers. Crumbs mostly, really. Section of the main veteran free, mortifying away. There's 6 kills close to veteran free. Almost got a wipe here. We actually got 2 wipes here almost. Good lord, that is really lucky there for Cheesetonkatsu. Didn't suffer those 2 wipes. That would have been a huge kill there for Giap. Get rid of not just the Crom, but 2 sections. That could really put Cheesetonkatsu in a vice-like position. His luck condition out. He needs to pop through at net AC before it gets turned into a German-sponsored lighter. Pack cleared out though. Good push here. Panther 4 counter-attacking. Pioneers backing up. Actually lost 2 Grenadier squads. Pretty heavy losses for Giap actually. Plus the Pack. Really should call in more infantry. I would recommend some assault troops. All these Panthers. There you go. Light machine drop. So that's a 3 Grenadier squad wipe here. This is huge. This is again like what Giap would like to get done here on Cheesetonkatsu. Instead, Giap is the one that suffered. He's trying to get the Pack 40 out of there, but again, gets cleared out due to the section. Should have popped smoke with the mortar if possible. This is great here for Cheesetonkatsu. Easily compensates for the loss of that Cromwell. Easily. I mean, Giap has found out to push back the map, but he's just taken so many losses. Going to really difficult, like, well, defend this. Another Panther 4 good, but Giap absolutely needs infantry. Like, trying to fight this with just 1 infantry squad is absolutely untenable. Absolutely untenable. Plus now, Cheesetonkatsu managed to upgrade the sections with Bren guns, making them much more formidable as well here. Much increasingly challenged here upon Giap's already severely outnumbered Grenadiers. Hey, where's the reinforcements? Where did all of the other Grenadiers go? I'm not liking this. I'm not liking this at all. We are losing a sector. Panther 4, they're being fixed up. North Hitler enforcing healing. Preparing for the next great push against the Jerrys, the Hun. We've got 240 to 375. More Grenadiers on there for Giap. And I really feel like he should be adding something a bit more punchy here, but that's just me. Anyway, 74 to the Cromwell on its own. That's definitely not going to cut it. And the problem is kind of sneak up the Pack 40 easily because it's going to be the range of possible forces up here that could clear out the Pack. But looks like Giap's going to try it anyway. Still, got 2 victory points, got some on the map here, but Cheesetonkatsu is definitely giving Giap here a really tough time of it. If they go on the base there, as of yet, let's have the 2 tanks. Giap does have some options here versus Cheesetonkatsu, in particular combined with some good smoke screens and infantry, particular assault infantry. There you go. Finally landed a wipe there in the British. Finally landed a wipe there. Small bit of relief here for Giap. Huge win there, though. Well, medium win, but still like, a lot more Englishmen to kill for this to really work out. And there you go, taking out the Pack 40 here. Machine the transfer president having a hard time. The Panther 4's arrived, the anti-tank is nearby. There we go. Pack 40 gets a hit there. Smoke's been popped there by the Cromwell. Thumbs up. Panther taking it from the anti-tank guns. AC rushing forwards. Turning to mess here for Giap. He's trying not to extract himself, but again, probably put himself into engagement that he shouldn't have. There you go. Machine crew wiped out. Another excellent kill here for Cheesetonkatsu and the British. Pack whiffs on the Cromwell there. Panther need repairs while they take more damage to the Pack 40s already. Need to fix that. Cannoneers moving towards the center here. And looks like Cheesetonkatsu will now secure the machine gun, further adding here to Giap's mission. There you go, Pack cleared out as well there. Really punishing Giap here for this engagement, which ultimately just wasn't tactically advisable for Giap, really. Like, it was a really exposed fight here with insufficient support, and which just, you know, make it easy, like, just the British, like, make a counter-strike. Like, he's lost on the machine gun, but he's lost a machine, he's also lost another Pack. Not great there for Giap at all, not great. What's that mortar completely real bastard? Like, a pair of Dukes also made, like, snuck in some hits here and then just made it hard for Cheesetonkatsu to use that mortar as much as like. Got some storms which just run up with an incendiary grenade. Like, just, you know, I feel like there's been some stuff here that Giap could have done more with in the docks. In fact, so far, the only thing it really seems to use maybe is the Panzer Tactician. I mean, we haven't seen concussor grenades, we haven't seen the Stormtroopers, we haven't seen the G for the face, and I'm fairly certain we won't be seeing the Tiger Race at this rate. That is not going to happen in a million years. I mean, if he tries for that, he's going to lose the match before he gets out the Tiger Race at this point, that's for sure. He'd lose the match. So, I mean, at this point, the Tiger Race is just not possible unless, like, Cheesetonkatsu suffers a stroke or something and becomes a vegetable, and then, you know, just Giap can then go for it without any resistance. Well, mostly without resistance. Continuing up in the north here. More trenches there from the British, very good. More to their east level, very good. Thumbs up there to Giap. I mean, the mortar's definitely been a fairly solid investment. Perhaps could head out sooner. Also should have used the smoke screens a bit. Destroying the next building here. Cheesetonkatsu continues his acts of valorous vandalism. For your valorous actions in destroying as much infrastructure and civilian homes as possible, we're giving you the Sir Bomber Harris Medal, made out of all the plumbing from destroyed orphanages we've destroyed during the war so far. Good show, Matt, old chap. Anyways, Pantherfall striking the section there. AC shoots the Pantherfall whiffs. Picks up the AC Mark III. We originally wanted to use the tooth fillings from the orphans, but, you know, turned out not to be economically feasible. So we held back on that. Also, some thought it was a bit gauche. I know. Sounded more like a German thing. Anyway, Storm's coming out there with the MP40s. Finally calling some storms, but I feel like this one's a bit too little too late here for Giap. A bit too little too late. We got 213 within 30 aircraft shot down. Hammer tactics out there. Might be a common then soon here for Cheesetonkatsu, which is definitely a problem there for Giap and the Germans. That said, it could possibly pull out some armor soon additionally. Stukes, I think, would definitely quite bless that. And tanks coming up there, backing up the Cromwell and the AC. Making a devious strike straight here for Giap's hardland. Storms were caught in the open though. 207 was within 30. Tier 4 for Giap. Ooh. I mean, he's a dreamer, that's for sure. He dreams big, but, you know, sometimes you really, like, you know, need to dream more practically than Tier 4. Some dreams were never meant to be dreamt. Some dreams were never meant to be dreamt. And I'd say Tier 4 in particular in this match is definitely one of those. There we go, coming away here for Cheesetonkatsu and the British Army. There's a fire here from two sections moving forwards. Not an upgrade on those Cannoneers. They are definitely been put into position they were not meant to win. Combat flowing up here though for the British Army ever slowly.
our capture point. They're trying to
Common
take it.
halfway done. Just move forwards. Cromwell firing away there. Pack forming in there. Got to the strike called in this case, the Flaymonville support call in there. Further disrupting here, any hope that Giap is forming up an effective attack here. Of course, good call in there by Cheesetonkatsu. Machine there is being blasted with the 2 Panther 4 so far, holding out fairly well though.
Have a new comment tank.
Well, that building turns out to be fairly resistant here to the Panther 4's efforts. If you're an Osman, that could actually do fairly fast. The Osman's actually surprisingly good at clearing out buildings. Not burning out anything, but just, shooting the buildings to rubble. And there you go, Command ready here for Cheesetonkatsu and the British Army. That's going to be a real problem if we get me on the northeast front collapses completely as Giap has diverted everything to the south here for the Nile, more or less aborted assault here. So Cheesetonkatsu now I think is looking in an incredibly good position. We've got more artillery firing down here I think on Giap's positions. Pantherform's knocked out here already. Is he pushing forward? Nonetheless, yes, he's still making the attempt. I think it's going to cost him here. Or perhaps he's just giving up already. There you go. Panther 4 down. 1 to go. Yeah, he's... I don't know if he's trying anymore, but he's just really frustrated. I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, playing against the Brits is probably not one of the least fun experiences in the game. But there you go. GG game over. Victory here for Cheesetonkatsu and the British Army. A loss for Giap and the Germans. I mean, definitely a tough matchup, particularly on a map like this. But that said, Giap again could have worked on his timings, could just push through like medium armor faster. But I also feel like the lack of assault infantry versus the British was also, I think, a crucial element, and a lack of mines. So there you go. But also, just Cheesetonkatsu really played very well. I mean, I really have to stress it. Like, he made good use of abilities. Tactically was also very much on point. Like, he played really well, like particularly the early half. Made game things like, shall we say, slacked up a bit, at which point Giap pushed back, but still in the early game he was absolutely on point, like just an absolute dervish. So well played there. Hope you enjoyed this match. I learned something phenomenal. If you did subscribe, like, share, comment on it, tell a friend, tell a family. Of course, if you do like to do, you can consider donating or pledging on Patreon. Links in the description. This is Pro LinkedIn. Cheers. Thanks for watching. You're all a wonderful audience, and see you all tomorrow. Bye.